Okay, good evening, everyone. We will start the session. Uh, so, right, last week we discussed the specific deduction rule. Under that, I discussed repairs and improvements. I told you that there is a limitation on the repairs and improvements. So, if you can remember these 2 points, for buildings, structures, and similar depreciable asset, there is a limitation of deducting the repairs and improvements. That is, we have to take 5% of the tax written down value of the asset at the end of the previous year, or actual repairs and improvements expenses incurred during the year, whichever is low. Asset එකේ last year end වෙනකොට තිබුණ written down value එකයි actual repairs and improvement expenditure එකයි දෙකෙන් අඩු වගේ තමයි repairs and improvements ලෙස අඩු කරන්න දෙන්නේ. හරි? On all other depreciable asset, the percentage is different. 20% of the tax written down value of the asset at the end of the previous year, or actual repairs and improvement expenses incurred during the year, whichever is lower. And I told you that the remaining balance, right, the amount that cannot be deductible, can be added to the depreciable basis of the asset. අඩු කරන්න බැරි ප්‍රමාණයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක depreciation basis එකට add කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා මම කිව්වා. So under this limitation, we have one activity, that is sixth activity. I did not do this activity because of the time limitation in the last week. So we will quickly do this activity and get into the next lesson. Sixth activity, ABC company purchased a depreciable equipment. So one important word is equipment. At rupees 900,000 on 14th June 2018. The purchase date is also important. Useful life is 5 years. Assume that for the purpose of we can depreciate this asset for 5 years. On 1st January 2019, rupees 150,000 incurred for a repair. Again, on 16th May 2019, rupees 264,000 incurred for another repair. Right? So we have 3 questions. Calculate the deductible amount of repair for the year ended 2018 and 19 and 19 and 20. ඒ කියන්නේ repairs සම්බන්ධයෙන් කොච්චරක් deduct කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Deductible amount of repairs for the year of assessment 18, 19 and 19, 20. The question number 2, calculate the allowable depreciation for the year of assessment 18, 19. And the same for the year of assessment 19 and 20. Now to answer for this question, I have written a table like this. So you can quickly write down this table where you have year, depreciation basis. You know, depreciation basis is tax written down value at the end of the previous year plus additions during the year. Then we need to have the remaining useful life. Then lastly, I took another column for accumulated depreciation allowance. So quickly write down these topics or the headings in the table. You know that there is a power cut happening at night in these days. So as I remember, in this area, in my area, it happens at 8 or 8:15 p.m. So if power goes off, you can wait, because I will come to the Zoom through another source, but it will take some time, like 2-3 minutes. So don't go. I will try to connect using an alternative source. Okay, because my Wi-Fi connection goes off if the electricity goes off. Therefore, I will try to connect through another source. Therefore, please wait. Okay, so here depreciation basis, which is tax written down value plus additions, then remaining useful life. Okay, another, there should be depreciation allowance, then accumulated depreciation allowance. Right. So let's get into this question. This asset was purchased on 14th June 2018. That is the year of assessment 2018 and 19. Okay. Make purchase kale June 14th 2018 wala. Enisa මේකට අදාළ year of assessment එක 2018 and 19. You know that irrespective of the date of purchase, we have to depreciate the asset. Okay. So what we do, we can depreciate this asset for the full year of 2018 and 19 using the remaining useful life of 5 years, right? But before the end of the year of assessment, that is 31st March 2019, year of assessment එක ඉවර වෙන්න කලින්, they have incurred 150,000 repair cost on 1st January 2019. Okay, so let me take like this. Okay, now the first year of assessment is 2018 and 19. Okay, now before end of the 2018-19, that is 31st March 2019, they have incurred a repair cost of rupees 150,000 on 1st January 2019. Now we have to apply that limitation rule for repairs and improvement expenses. That is the rule that I showed you little while ago. මතකද මම මේක පෙන්නුවා. දැන් ගිය සතියේ හිටපු නැති කට්ටියට මේක බොහෝ විට ග්‍රීක් වලට වැඩිය අමාරු වෙයි. ඒ කට්ටිය ටොලරේට් කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. හරි? අපි කිව්වේ limitations ගන්නකොට tax written down value එක previous year එකේ. එහෙනම් මම ගන්නවා tax written down value as at 31st March 2018. You have to take the tax written down value at the end of the previous year. Now this asset was purchased in the 2018 and 19 year. Okay, 2018-19 year එකේ තමයි purchase කළේ. ඒතකොට last year එකේ this asset was not there. Therefore tax written down value is 0. Because it was not there by 31st March 2018, isn't it? And then the actual repair cost. Actual repair cost. It is 150,000. Okay. Out of these two figures, you have to take lower value, that is 0. Right? Therefore, in this year, right, 2018 and 19, you cannot deduct any amount as repairs and improvements. The first question එකේ answer එක මම මෙතන ලිව්වොත් එහෙම, first question එකේ 2018 and 19, the question is what is the deductible amount of repair? in 2018 and 19, the lower value is 0. Therefore, nothing can be deducted as repairs and improvements when we calculate the taxable profit. Clear? Now, undeductible amount. Now, in this case, the total 150,000 was not able to deduct. Right? Deduct කරන්න බැරි වුණා. ඒ නිසා undeductible amount එක add කරන්න පුළුවන් depreciation basis එකට. right? එහෙනම් year 1 එකේදී first year වෙන්නේ එතකොට tax written down value එක 0 last year තිබුණ නැහැ. The cost of the asset, that is an addition, 900,000 plus we were not able to deduct the repair expense this year because of this limitation rule. So undeductible amount, that is 150,000, can be added to the depreciation basis. So we can add 150,000 to the depreciation basis. Okay, therefore depreciation basis in this case in the first year is 1,050,000 equal 1,050,000. Remaining useful life, we are in the first year, therefore we can take 5. If I get the answer, 1,050,000 divided by 5, depreciation allowance is 210,000. Therefore, accumulated depreciation allowance is also 210,000. How? This 1.05 or 1,050,000 divided by 5 remaining useful life, then you get depreciation allowance of 210,000 for the first year. Let me name the year 2018 and 19. Okay. Therefore, answer for the second question, calculate the allowable depreciation for the year of assessment 18-19, that is 210,000. Okay. Then let's get into the second year. Okay, that is 2019 and 20, second year. Now, in the second year also, they have incurred, right, 264,000 as repair expenses. When on 16th May 2019, ඊළඟ අවුරුද්දේ මේ මාසේ 16 වෙනිදා තවත් 2,64,000ක් ප්‍රපෙයාර් කරන්න වියදම් කරලා තියෙනවා. බොහෝ විට මේක පරණ ඇසෙට් එකක් වෙන්න ඇති ගන්න නැත්තේ. මම දන්න කම්පැනි එකක් තියෙනවා පරණ ජෙනරේටර් එකක් ගෙනාව හැමදේම repairs. They spent like 4 to 5 million to buy that generator, but it was an old one. So they pay a lot of repair expenditure each year. Okay. හේතු ළමයි චයිනා අපිව එන්ක්‍රෝච් කරලා තියෙන, ආක්‍රමණය කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මොකද brand new එකකට යන්න පුළුවන් ගොඩක් අවස්ථාවල මේක තමයි වෙන්නේ brand new යන්න පුළුවන්, but it is Chinese. Okay. හොඳම generators වගේ වේ හොඳම කියන්නේ European ඒවා ගන්න බෑ 8-10 million ඒ වගේ ලොකු huge amount එකක් ඕන වෙනවා. අපි stuck වෙලා ඉන්නේ, අපි trap වෙලා ඉන්නේ. අපිට හොඳ මේකුත් ඕනේ, හැබැයි quality compromise කරන්නත් බෑ. ගන්න ගියොත් ලොකු cost එකක් යනවා. Okay. So anyway, that is a different story. 1920, they have incurred another 264,000 as a repair cost. So we have to take tax written down value as at 31st March 2019. Okay, tax written down value. Right? That is, if I take here 2019 and 20, the tax written down value is 1,050,000. This figure minus 210,000. Okay, 1,050 minus 210,000. That is 840,000. Tax written down value is 840,000. Okay, so it is 840,000. okay, at the end of the previous year. And actual repair cost, is 264,000. Actually earlier I did not multiply by the percentage lamai මොකද 0 වලින් multiply කරොත් 0 මනේ. නිසා මම මෙතන multiply කරේ නෑ ඕන ලියා ගන්න මේක 20% වලින් වැඩි වෙන්නේ. මොකද මේක equipment එකක් නිසා buildings නම් 5% ගන්නෙ but all other depreciable asset the percentage is 20%. I did not multiply because the tax written down value is 0. Basic mathematics මතකයිනේ. ඕනම සංඛ්‍යාවක් බිඳුවෙන් වැඩි කරොත් එහෙම උත්තරේ බිඳුවනේ. ඒ නිසා මම ගත්තේ නෑ. Otherwise you have to take the percentage. Okay, now here you have to take percentage 20%. 840 into 20%, that is 168,000. Okay, so we'll take lower value of these two. In this case the lower value is 168,000, which is the amount that can be deducted as repairs when deriving the profit. Insa question number 1 ekේ second answer 2019 and 20 you can deduct, right, deduct the repairs and maintenance expense of 168,000. 1,68,000ක් deduct කරන්න පුළුවන් repairs and maintenance less. හරිද? first question එකේ 0, this question 168. එතකොට තාමත් තියෙනවා undeductible amount එකක්. එහෙනම් මෙතන මෙහෙවුවොත් එහෙම undeductible amount, deductible amount, that is we incurred 264,000 but we were able to deduct only 168,000. Therefore undeductible amount is 264 minus 168, 96,000. Okay, undeductible amount is 96,000. That can be added to the depreciation basis. Therefore addition in the second year is 96,000. Therefore depreciation basis for the purpose of calculating depreciation allowance of the second year is 840 plus 96,000, that is 936,000. Now 1 year has been gone, therefore remaining useful life is 4 years. Therefore 936,000 divided by 4, we get 234,000 as the depreciation allowance in the second year. Then we can easily calculate accumulated depreciation allowance at the end of the second year, that is summation of these two figures, which is 444,000. Therefore the answer for the third question, depreciation allowance for the year of assessment 2019 and 20, it is 234,000. So we have done, or we have given the answers for the question number 1, answer for the question number 2, and question number 3. This is a bit complex, Lamai, because in this case, you know, depreciation allowance plus limitation on repairs and improvements both apply. එතකොට අමාරුයි. දැන් මේ ටික හොඳට පාඩම් කරගන්න ඕනේ. මොකද company taxation වලට ආවට පස්සේ individual taxation ආවට පස්සේ මේ ඔක්කොම ඕනේ වෙනවා. මොකද individual කෙනෙක් වුණත් business income එකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපිට තාම individual company කතා කරන්න බැරි ඕනම පුද්ගලයෙකුට, ඒ කියන්නේ person කෙනෙකුට sources කීපයක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරි? ඒතර ඒ sources වල එකතුව තමයි ගන්නෙ. ඒ නිසා අපි දැන් අද අපි බලමු පුළුවන් තරම් ඉවර කරගන්න. තව දවසකින් පස්සේ අපිට sources ටික ඉවර කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට පස්සේ අපිට individual taxation, company taxation, partnership taxation and other entities we can discuss. Right? In that case, this knowledge is a prerequisite. You must have this basic knowledge. Okay. So with this computation, we have finished the business income part 2. Then quickly we will get into the activity which I uploaded to the LMS last week. So please get the activity on the business income. Okay, let me take that activity. Yes. There is an error in the topic. Hope you can see the screen and let me read the question. I'm pretty sure that you might have read the question before because I uploaded this in the last week. I'm pretty sure that you have read the question. Okay, BestQ Private Limited is engaged in buying and selling of musical equipment and accessories and servicing them to the customers. Basically, this is a business. The following information has been provided for the year of assessment 2019 and 20. Let's go to the requirement and see the requirement. Calculate the business income for the first and second period. You know the two periods. First period ends on 31st December 2019, whereas the second period ends on 31st March 2020. The last 3 months. I will explain kara. First 9 months එක first period කියලා හඳුන්වනවා. Second 3 months period එක second period කියලා අපි හඳුන්වනවා. So the requirement is calculate the business income for the first and second period separately for the year of assessment 2019 and 20. Okay. We'll take a format like this. First period and the second period. Let me take like this. First period and second period. This is business income. I mean taxable business income. First, we have been given income of the business. Therefore, I will take income. Practically හදද්දී ගන්න profit එකට adjustments කරන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ financial accounting වල ගණනය කරපු profit එකට තමයි adjustments කරන්නේ. නමුත් වලට ඒ adjustments කරනකොට මොනවද taxable වෙන income මොනවද taxable නොවන income කියන එක වැදගත් වෙනවා. So මේ activity එකේ purpose එක තමයි to identify what are the taxable income and what are the deductible expenses. Right? But when we calculate the taxable profit of the business, what we do, we take the profit as per the financial accounting and we do adjustments to the profit, then we get the taxable profit, right? But when we get the taxable profit, you should have an understanding about the taxable income and deductible expenses. Okay, right. So we'll come to the first one. Income sources are given: sale of equipment and accessories on credit 2.6 million, on cash 1 million. Now, when it comes to the business income, right? It doesn't matter whether it is on credit or cash. We have to take the income on accrual basis. Okay, it doesn't need to be cash basis, right, when we take the business income, right? So we can take the both credit and cash, I mean the accrual basis, right? So we use accrual basis in calculating business income generally. Okay, you can ask questions. Yes, Ravindu, you are giving me the answers. Let's see whether it is correct. Now, Lamai, in this case, we have to split the income and expenses, deductible expenses into the first period and second period. Income and expenses split කරන්න ඕනේ, බෙදන්න ඕනේ first period එකට සහ second period එකට. We did one activity for the employment income. There you were given most of the items specifically to the first period and second period. Right? ඒතර හොයාගන්න පුළුවන් නම් directly first period and second period එකට කීයද කියලා ඒ අනුව ගන්න ඕනේ. නමුත් business income කෙනෙකුට සමහර විට හොඳ accounting system එකක් තියෙනවා නම් you can filter this information easily to the first period and second period. හොඳ information system එකක් ඒ කියන්නේ accounting software එකක් එහෙම තියෙනවා නම් use කරලා තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාලට පුළුවන් trace කරගන්න first period එකේ කීයද second period එකේ කීයද කියලා. හරි actual information ගන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, something went wrong. මම හිතට මාව ඇහෙනවා නේද? උදේස මාව ඇහෙනවද?
එනවා. ඇහෙන්නේ නැතුව තිබුණා දැන් ඇහෙන්න ගත්තා.
right හරි. මොකද මං කිය හිටියේ පොඩක්. මම කිය හිටපු දේ අමතක වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අසීහිය පොඩක් ඉන්න සිහිය ආපහු ගන්න කන්නේ. මම කිය හිටියේ හොඳ ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් සිස්ටම් එකක් තිබුණොත් අපිට income සහ expenses හරියටම period දෙකට කඩා ගන්න පුළුවන්. It's matter of getting reports by extracting information. හැබැයි එහෙම නැත්තම් මොකද